Hi, welcome to the Outstanding Ohio Lunch and Learn. We have today Shannon Vitale. Is that how you say it?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. She's a certified transformation nutrition coach, board certified in holistic nutrition through the National Association of Nutrition Professionals. She helps women who are so busy taking care of everyone and everything else that they don't have the time, energy, or bandwidth to enact the health changes they'd like for themselves. One-on-one health coaching, education, and speaking are her prime modalities of service. She loves helping women find the right path to success, find the right actions for them, and help them to actually implement those actions in their daily lives. So I'm very excited to hear more from Shannon about how we can prioritize ourselves and our health. Thank you, Shannon, for taking the time to meet with us today.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Hello, everyone. So I would like to know first, how many of you feel like you just don't have the time or the energy that you really need to achieve your health goals? I know I have felt that way many times. Thank you. Now, how many of you, though, can't consistently prioritize yourself so that you can focus on your goals? That's a big problem for me also. So if you raised your hand, or if you just mentally were raising your hand to either of those questions, you may be sitting there thinking, I don't know, this lady, she sounds nuts. I barely have 5 minutes to myself a day, much less the time or energy to focus on me and what I want. Well, whether you feel you just don't have that time or energy, or whether you feel sometimes you make really great headway, but then you fall short because life gets in the way. By the time we end today, you're going to have 4 steps that you need to take so that you can prioritize yourself and your health goals and make forward progress them, all while living your everyday busy life. So without excess struggle, without draining more of your energy or time. So today I want to talk about gaining clarity, brainstorming small actions, building routines and systems, and practicing. So this might sound complicated or time consuming, but I really want you to know that it's really not. These steps that I'm going to talk about are a synthesis of my own personal experience, years of transformation for my own health, as well as all the expertise I've gained in the holistic health field. I've taken it all, I've boiled it down and summarized it for you guys so that I can help you make your journey easier. Because I'm super busy, just like I'm sure most of you are. I not only am an entrepreneur and run my own business, but I have a very busy full-time day job. I have three girls, 3 teenage girls, and a husband and a life and family. So prioritizing yourself and moving forward and making the progress you want in your life, I totally get all the struggles. And these steps are how I've succeeded and how many of my clients have succeeded. So if you're ready to dig in, I'm just going to get going. You know how when you want to reach a health goal, like you might want to lose some weight, you might want to balance your blood sugar, start working out, you might have some eczema issues, whatever it is. And you really want to move forward with it, but you're really struggling with your daily life because it's overwhelms you. And you just don't know how to start, where to begin. The very first step to take is to gain clarity over exactly what it is you really want and what getting it means for you. Why is this critical? The magic in this step is that you're going to identify what it is you really are looking for, your true end goal. It's what underlies the health goal that you initially think of. And this is going to help you clear the path of possibilities of all the possible actions and routes that you could take to help you clearly see that the steps you want to take and are going to take are going to push you in the right direction. You're going to feel confident that you're not wasting your time or energy on all of the wrong things. And it's going to help keep you moving forward, especially as life gets crazy, because we all know that it does. And you'll have something to hold on to when you experience those frustrations, those setbacks, and the challenges. So I kind of want to use an example to illustrate this. And then I don't know if any one of you is brave enough to share what one of your health goals is. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering or life-changing. It could be small. But I would very much appreciate if someone would share one with us. Anyone? Oh, there's no takers. Jim, do you have one?
Yeah, and it's it may be pie in the sky, but when I first started working, I bought a number of suits because I had to work someplace where you had to wear suits. And I'd like to get myself small enough to have them come close to fitting again. Not look I'm squeezed into a sausage wrapper.
I hear you. I myself have a whole closet full of work clothes that I no longer can wear either.
Thing is, I still work in suits, so getting back into them does have a benefit.
All right. So that's an excellent goal. Thank you for sharing. I know it's scary to always be the first one to volunteer, so I appreciate that. So I'm going to ask.
I'm not a chicken like the rest of these people.
Chicken. To get the clarity for this first step that I'm talking about, you just need to sit for a few minutes and ask yourself a few simple questions, right? So, Jim, thinking about that goal of wanting to shed some pounds to fit into your suits, I guess my first question would be, what does reaching that goal really mean for you? I mean, how do you picture yourself after you've accomplished that goal? How do you see yourself? What feelings how would you feel?
Skinny?
Skinny, yes, right.
Not having to buy, considering how many of them there are, I never have to buy a suit again.
Right.
Because men's suits don't,
Yep.
other than leisure suits, generally don't go out of style.
Right. So you would fit in your clothes, right?
I would fit in my clothes. I would definitely be healthier than I am now.
Okay.
And I definitely along the way have got to change my relationship with food.
Okay.
Food and I need to have a serious breakup.
I hear you. Well, I don't know about breakup, but maybe a tweak in your relationship, let's just say.
Yeah. I just need to leave food behind me.
Okay.
Let's face it, how easy would it be to be skinny if I didn't eat, huh?
Well, but it's not necessarily always about being skinny, right? So you want to fit back in your clothes, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
That will make you feel how? Will it make you feel more confident, more sure of yourself?
You don't know me well enough. Confidence is not an issue.
Somehow I sense that. Will you be able
It
to
will let
walk
me
into
feel
the
like
room not worrying?
I've put food as my comfort object behind me.
Okay. So it sounds like fitting into your suits again means more of a deeper fixing your relationship with food.
Yes.
Right. And fixing your relationship with food would mean what to your life overall?
It probably would mean I have put the other crap that causes me to turn to food for comfort behind me.
Okay. So this is a great start. So this kind of starts to illustrate the point I'm making is that your true end vision, right, underneath the goal is your ultimate why. What you're ultimately looking for by achieving that goal is to fix your relationship with food, right, as a start. You've kind of found the clarity on what it is you're really looking for. You're really looking to help fix that relationship with food, and losing some of that weight is kind of a means to that end. Is that a fair assessment? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's your
Actually,
true.
I take my suspicion is I have to fix my relationship with food in order to lose the weight. I'm down about 20, but I
Okay.
still have a ways to go.
That's excellent. Wonderful.
But so the fixing the relationship with food is
Symbiotic.
more of a means to get there. That's
Okay.
not the goal.
Okay.
It's a step.
It's a step towards losing the weight that you want to lose.
Yeah.
But your true end goal is to actually lose all that weight, be free of it forever, and feel free.
Yes.
Okay. So that's all the first step is, right? Is finding that what you're really, really looking for and connecting yourself to that. Because the reason it's so important that you do that is that it's going to provide like an anchor to yourself, right? As you're on this health journey, as you're trying to lose this weight, you have a bigger end goal that you're connected to on a deeper level, that's going to keep you moving forward and not giving up. So that connection is what's going to ensure your long-term success, because the challenges and the setbacks, because we all know weight loss is a huge up and down journey. It's not going to ultimately stop you. You're going to keep going because you have that clarity of end vision in your head. Does that make sense for everyone? So that's a huge area that my clients and I do spend a lot of time on during the coaching process, because grounding yourself in that ultimate why is a key mindset shift that's imperative for your long-term success and in maintaining that long-term success. And the whole point is it doesn't have to be hard or time-consuming to figure out. So we just started with a few questions, and we already started digging into Jim's underlying why or his connection. And you can do that too. It's only long and hard or overwhelming process if you make it that way. So just take your 10 to 15 minutes in a day. We can all find 10 minutes in our busy day. I promise if you look, you will find 10 minutes, whether you're standing in line at the grocery store. Hi, Shirley. Whether you're sitting in your car, whether you're watching soccer practice or scrolling through Instagram, start looking for those moments in your everyday life that you can start taking that time to think about you and prioritize yourself and what you need in your day. So again, it doesn't have to be complicated. Before I go on, I did want to say I do have a free ebook that covers all 4 of these steps. And it does contain a lot of the prompts and questions for each step that I'll be going through. So if that's something you're interested in, please throw your name and email into the chat and I'd be happy to send you the link. But before I move to step 2, does anyone have any questions? Okay. So now that you know what your true end vision is, we're going to move on to the second step. And for this, I'm wondering, wouldn't you like to know, like have a personalized roadmap to achieving that goal just for you? I mean, who wouldn't want one of those, right? So even though this is something I do help my clients with, this is something you can absolutely do for yourself. There is no reason you can't be your own coach. And by using this process, you can create the new habits that will move you forward. So to do that, the second step is to brainstorm smaller actions and goals that are going to take you down that path to reach your goal and your end vision. It's super easy. And when you're done, you're going to find you actually have that personalized roadmap that you wish someone would do for you. So again, it's only hard and complicated if you make it that way. So just keep this step super simple. Don't let your brain take over and overanalyze. The whole goal with this step is to just brainstorm a whole bunch of different actions that you could take that will get you to your end goal or down to your ultimate end vision. So for like Jim's example of losing weight, all this step is a brain dump. So if anyone wants to shout out some ideas, what could you do to start losing weight? Like, what are some different actions you could take? Anyone have any thoughts? Don't be shy. There's only a few of us. It's okay.
I suspect my big ones, I need to be conscious of why I am eating.
Excellent. So stay conscious. Another one, anyone?
Drink more water.
Drink more water. Perfect. Another one?
Be aware of empty calories that you're consuming.
Absolutely.
Meaning
Any
more
other?
calories than nutrition.
Right. Any others? You could, I'm sorry?
Exercise.
Exercise. Right. So you could eat clean. You could increase your veggie intake. You could weight train, set up a morning routine. Like the possibilities here are endless, right? And that's all that this step is doing. You're just taking all of these ideas that could be floating around in your head and you're going to put them on paper. That's it. Set a timer, 10 minutes, write them all down, and you're done. Easy. Where you could find difficulties with this, though, is if you let your brain start taking over. So if you start looking at your list while you're writing and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know, is this realistic? No. Am I really going to do this? No, that's going to be too hard. I'm not putting it on the list. Well, that sounds too easy. I'm not going to put that down there. If you start doing that, you know that you're overanalyzing and you just need to stop, because all this is taking it out of your head onto paper. It doesn't matter if you've captured everything. It doesn't matter if you think your list is too long or is too short, because your list can always be updated. It can always be edited. So for like now, the first time you just sit down, set your timer and write. Easy. Again, 10 minutes. You take a break from the busyness of your day to think about yourself for a little bit, and you're done. And these steps, you don't have to do one right after the other. You can stretch them out over a week or two, or however long you feel is necessary. So 20 minutes, and you're already done with steps 1 and 2. You figured out what you're looking for, what you really want. You figured out that connection. And you've brainstormed a bunch of ways to get yourself there. You've made your personalized roadmap, essentially. So you've already prioritized yourself and are on your way in 20 minutes. Is there any questions before I move on to the next step? Okay. So let's say, do any of you ever get stressed out by looking at what seems to be unorganized lists? Sometimes I do, right? Erin's nodding her head. Yeah. Even short lists can sometimes make our brain go wonky before they've made sense of them. So this is where it really gets fun. And I may have said that before, but I really think it's true. In this step, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to calm our brain down. We are going to pick a starting point, and we're going to build a routine around it. And let's say you're sitting there, you're looking at your list that we've created from our second step, and your heart starts beating a little faster. Your mind starts racing with thoughts of, wait, what? Oh my gosh, this looks like too much. How will I ever do this? Where am I going to find time to do this? Where am I going to begin? You just need to stop. Close your eyes, breathe. This is going to move you past all of that nonsense and help you organize that list and find a starting point. So the first thing you're going to do is you want to triage your list. Immediately eliminate what you do not think is possible in your life right now. You have to be brutally realistic here, because that is the key. If you're not realistic, it's not going to work. And that should help you narrow down your list a bit or a lot, depending. And then all you have to do is pick one. Seriously, don't try to overachieve. Don't try to tackle multiple of them. And it doesn't matter if it's a small one, just start with one. So how will I know which one is the right one, you might be thinking? The secret is that it just doesn't matter, truly. Stop overanalyzing and second guessing yourself, because every single idea that you put on that list will move you forward towards your end goal. And any of them would be a great place to start. So you absolutely cannot do it wrong. And I'm going to give you a pro tip. Pick the one that you think will be the easiest to integrate into your life as soon as possible. The easiest. And I know it might sound counterintuitive, but picking that easiest action or that easiest small item is going to help your brain ease yourself into the change. It's going to help you to build confidence up. It's going to start building evidence that these changes are possible for yourself and that you can do this. And all of those mindset shifts are really important when you're embarking on any kind of change. So let's say you're still having trouble and your perfectionist tendencies are causing you to procrastinate picking one, and you're still sitting there overanalyzing. This is what you're going to do. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to put your finger on the paper, and wherever you land, that is the one you're going to choose. And once you do choose, do not go back into decision mode. Why? because you've already decided. Take it, move forward, and just start. You're going to evaluate, you're going to tweak it down the line, you're going to go to a different one a little later. But for now, you just pick one and start. Does that make sense for everyone? Okay. So now you've organized your list and you've decided on a starting point, just like that. Again, set a timer. Give yourself 10 minutes, and if you can't choose, use your finger, pick one, and you're done. So you've already gotten through 3 steps. You've taken maybe a half an hour to 45 minutes, and you've figured out your end vision, connected to it. You have brainstormed your roadmap, and you've chosen a starting point. The next part is to build a routine or build a habit around that action. And again, don't make it harder for yourself than it needs to be, because we love to make things harder for ourselves. Our brain loves to overcomplicate things. The key, remember, is to think realistically. And in order to create a routine, it's not as hard as you might think. You just have to ask yourself some easy questions. So let's go back to our example with Mr. Jim here. So in order to create a routine around losing weight, let's pick an action. Jim, what action do you think you could start that would be easy right now? It doesn't even have to be a real one. You can make one up.
Well, I pretty well had gotten to the habit of adding exercising each day on top of my walking my dog, because the dog and I walk between 2 and 4 miles a day, depending on weather and my schedule. But I've added, at least I did until I got the flu, added an exercise routine in. I've got I have to stop aching so much just sitting in a chair, and then I'll get back to it.
I hear you. That's excellent. So in order to get back into it, let's just brainstorm and ask some questions around how you could do that. So to get more specific, right? You say, I want to have more activity on top of walking your dog.
Yes.
What does that mean? What does that look like to you?
Well, my routine had become yoga one day and calisthenics / cardio on the next day, and then just going back and forth.
Okay. So you want to try to do yoga every other day.
Yep.
And cardio every other day.
Yep.
So what do you need? What do you think you need in order to start that? Are there any resources?
I need to pick a day and restart.
Okay. So what day are you going to restart?
Saturday.
Right now.
I'm
Saturday.
going to give myself a week with the flu, and I'm going to start Saturday.
Okay. When Saturday? And what do you have going on?
Saturday? That's a good, that's why it's an easy day to pick, because I don't have a whole lot going on.
Okay. So are you going to run in the morning, or I mean, are you going to do your yoga in the morning? Are you an afternoon?
I'm not going to do the calisthenics.
Calisthenics.
I tend to do it. I walk the dog, come back and clear emails, and then do my exercises, whether it's yoga or calisthenics.
Okay, great. What's going to remind you to do that on a regular basis? What is going to be what do you think your trigger could be for that? Walking your dog, or is it going to be something else? Like, for example, I have my water bottle set in a certain place in the morning when I get up, so I see it first thing.
Until I got sick, I was pretty good. I didn't have a problem getting myself going every day. It may not have been the same time every day, but I started to feel guilty if afternoon was coming and I hadn't done it.
Okay, so you were holding yourself accountable.
Yes, I was trying to.
Wonderful. So when you're building a routine like Jim had, and he wants to restart, it's really important to think about these things, right? How is it going to fit realistically into my life? What do I have going on? Is that really going to work, right? You have to be honest with yourself. What kinds of things will you need to have in place? What kind of support will you need? Then next set of questions is going to be, well, what could get in your way, right? Let's say Saturday comes and something happens, what could possibly get in your way of you actually not executing on your plan?
Oh, I remember something I haven't gotten done that I have to get done. The schedule, the to-do list or the schedule just blows everything up. Or as it happened to me 6 days ago, I could start to have unexplained body aches and realize I've got the flu.
Right.
I
So,
was not going to do this during the flu. I was miserable.
no, I don't think anyone should be exercising during the flu. That's for
Oh.
sure.
This was literally a pain in the butt. My body aches were in my butt and my legs.
Oh,
Literally, flu was a pain in the butt.
I'm so
Oh.
sorry. That
Went
sounds
after my
awful.
big muscles.
So outside of the flu, right? Let's say that you think some potential challenges, it sounds like, could be priorities.
Yeah.
Right. Things might come up with work or your schedule or friends that you may move around your priority of you in order to get those other things done. So
Yep.
you would want to think about, well, how would I react to that? What could I do, or what will I think to myself to say to myself, no, I'm going to stick with me as my priority for this particular point in time before I tackle all this other stuff. It's the thinking ahead part. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I mean, I could say it's going to be this time every day, but I don't have that kind of control over my schedule. So I really use my own guilt and accountability to, if I'm going to get it done during the day.
Okay. So, and these are the types of questions that you need to ask yourself, right? Like, so I'm going to hold myself accountable and I'm going to make myself feel guilty, which I don't know if that's the best answer, but if that's what works for you, what happens when it doesn't work? You know what I mean? These are the types of things that I'm trying to illustrate will come up when you're trying to put into practice a new routine or habit. That the more you can think ahead and plan ahead, the better chances you'll have when something happens, that you'll then have something in place, you'll think about it, and you'll be able to still follow through with your plan rather than letting life derail you, let's say. Does that make sense, everyone? Yes, head nods, Jim sighing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I've generally promised myself I owe it to myself.
Right. And we do all owe it to ourselves. That's so true. But so often something happens and then the owing it to ourselves takes a lesser priority than other things. And sometimes it doesn't, right? That's what we're trying to get to here. So creating that initial routine around your new action, it doesn't have to take like a long time. We just talked through some of the aspects of it. You have sort of a plan, you know what you want to do. Agreed, thank you. It is okay to put yourself first. Sorry, that was the one I caught my eyeballs. And you're gonna make a promise to yourself, essentially, that you're gonna do this. And even if you get there and something doesn't work out, it's okay, right? But you're just creating a routine. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So those are the first 3 steps, right? You've taken, let's say, a total of 45 minutes. You've figured out your end goal and connected your connection to it. You've brainstormed your roadmap of actions. You picked one, and you've started creating a routine around what you're going to do to put that into your life. So now what? Well, now we're getting into the 4th step, which is one of the most important, and you actually get to take action now, right? You're going to practice your new routine. This step is practicing. It is not executing flawlessly, because we all know it is rare to get something right and consistently right immediately. It takes time, but as human beings, we often forget that, and we beat ourselves up, we chalk it up to failure, or we let our inner critics go haywire on us. And a lot of times that ends up in us giving up, stopping, or not even trying anymore. So I have experienced that before. I don't know if anyone else has. I imagine you all have. as a recovering perfectionist, my fear of not doing something perfectly or not executing it flawlessly used to either keep me from starting or it would stop my forward progress completely. So with this whole process, it's practicing, because you will not be perfect. And the sooner you accept that, the more progress you're going to make, which may sound weird, but you're not going to give up. This is a long haul, right? You don't want to just lose 15 pounds in 3 months and then you're done. You're going to want to maintain that weight loss for the rest of your life. You're going to want to keep it going. You're going to want to tackle something else. So some weeks, right, you're going to execute your action perfectly. You're going to feel like you have it handled and you have conquered it. Some weeks, life is going to happen, like you get the flu or something happens, you get derailed and you may not have executed on your plan like you wanted to. That is a completely normal part of the process, and it's okay. Because the most important part of this step is what you decide to do once you've perceived yourself as failing. It's what you make that supposed failure mean about you that will determine your long-term success. And what I mean by that is you could either let that supposed failure define you, or you can look for the lesson in it, tweak your plan going forward, and keep trying. That's why this is practicing. And that's the essential part that will lead you ultimately to the success that you're looking for. And that's what will allow you to execute on these things, even though you're a super busy human being, because you're going to have life happen, right? You're going to have failures, but those failures always teach you something. So let's say Saturday, you have great plans. You're going to go do your cardio after you walk your dog. Oh, but wait, something with work happened. You really had to do this right away. And then instead of beating yourself up about it, you think, okay, you're going to evaluate. Well, what caused me to not follow through? Oh, it was X, Y, and Z. So how can I help that next time? So you would tweak your plan and you would keep going and moving forward. And next time you may do it great. That's the whole lesson in this, right? That's the whole path to success. Building new habits and making change doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it doesn't have to be something that adds a ton of pressure to your life. It's all of those small actions that are going to lead you to success. Because at the end of the year, right, you could either go, and I've done this many times, maybe some of you have too. Let's say you have this huge lofty goal, right? I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 3 months. And I'm going to follow this workout routine, and I'm going to eat clean, and I'm going to do all these things. And you're so gung-ho and it's so big that midway through, it's too much and you're overwhelmed and you stop. And you look back at the end of the year and you think, oh, well, crap, I didn't get anywhere. I'm exact same spot as I was before. But if you follow these steps and you add small actions into your busy life every day, when you look back at the end of the year, you'll see all of these actions have stacked onto each other, and you would have created a massive amount of change in that time. Does that make sense to everyone? So the 4 steps to prioritize yourself and reach your goals while you're juggling your everyday life. You want to gain clarity over what you want. You want to brainstorm your list of actions to get you there. Build your system or routine around that action, and then you just practice putting it in place into your life. You evaluate, you tweak, you move forward. So what's your next action then? What are you going to do today to move forward with your health goals, to move forward with prioritizing you? One thing you could do, of course, is to take advantage of me by scheduling a free 30 consult call with me. We will talk all about you during the call. Who doesn't like to talk about themselves? We talk about your health goals, your concerns, where you want to go, what challenges you face, and we talk through possible solutions or actions that you could start taking. If it's something you're interested in, I'm going to put my website in the chat and you guys can reach me that way, or you can DM me through Facebook. But the most important thing I want you to take away and do for yourself today is just to take some sort of action, some sort of small action for yourself. Don't wait any longer. Know that you absolutely can prioritize yourself, even though you may be thinking you're overwhelmingly busy. And I guess that's it. I think I lost my place in my head, so I guess I'm done. So thank you. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I'm gonna stick my stuff in the chat and check it out.
That was great, Shannon. Thank you. I have one question. When do you do the small thing, you get a routine, like at what point do you layer onto that?
So when you feel like you have that routine down and you're ready to move on to the next, then that's when you would want to go ahead and add on a new goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so much of what you said resonates with me, both in, in terms of trying to lose weight or whatever, but really in business and in life. You've got to start with a vision. You've got to set your goal. You've got to have a plan. That's so critical to like plan ahead and know how you're going to get it. And you got to start small. You got to build that routine. You got to be consistent. You got to stay committed. And then when you fall, you got to pick yourself back up and evaluate and keep trying and keep going. And I think, the don't wait, take action. Like so many people, I have all these ideas and all these things I want to do, and I don't know what to do. It's like, just do something. Something's better than nothing. Like get moving, get some action is good advice, not only for your health and wellness, but for probably everything in your life. So.
Agreed. Oh, I think I direct messaged and you're right. I don't know why my thing does that, everyone. Yeah, I totally agree. And a lot of health coaches or wellness people, and I'm not a nutritionist, I am a coach, but it's easy to give people, not easy, I don't want to undermine that. A lot of people who are looking for help, right, go to an expert and they say, tell me what to do. I want to know what to do. Give me a list. Well, they give you the list and then you're done, right? It's what you take and do with that list is what will matter. And I feel like my role in helping with that is to help you link what you know you're supposed to do or want to do with actually fitting it in and doing it in your everyday life. And it is to those small things that when you're busy like we are, I really feel that's the key. So thank you for saying that. All right, see, let me try this again.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
There, now that's to everyone, I think. Here we go.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. No more questions?
Christine,
Did you guys enjoy? Did it make sense to you? Yeah.
Yes, it was really good, Shannon. Thanks for your time and your input.
No. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I know everyone's busy.
I
I feel like
appreciate
I should be lying on a couch in a psychiatrist's office after that.
Well, thank you for volunteering, Jim. That was really nice of you. I know it's hard to do that sometimes.
It went a lot deeper than I had expected, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean
that's okay. No, I needed it. Thank you. I got
you're
the 30-minute free consult today in public.
In public. There you go.
With witnesses, we're all going to be checking up on you now. We're going to be calling you Saturday.
Just what I need.
Yeah.
I guess, okay, so I now have more motivation than I did before.
Right.
I'm
I think the
accountable to
accountability piece
5 or 6
helps
people
sometimes
here.
too. Yeah, to have somebody to keep you accountable.
Definitely.
Yeah. Christine, did you have something?
I was just going to say, thank you very much. It was nice to keep it fairly concise it can be a simple process.
I try. Easier is always better, in my opinion. How come, and Erin, do you know how to save the chat?
Yes, I can also, everybody I think had to register for this, so I can just send you an Excel that has everybody's emails in it if that's easier.
Okay, that'd be great. Let me see if I
Yeah.
can receive some of these in my.
But I can also save it and send it to you.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
couple ways to save the chat. I will admit, my preference is to simply copy it and then paste it into Word. You can click the 3 dots down near the lower right and that will save it, but you end up having to open a browser to see it.
I know, I tried doing that. It wasn't working. Maybe I'll just copy and paste.
Yeah, just copy and paste into a Word document or whatever word processor you use. I like that. For me, that works a lot better.
Thank you. Technology obviously isn't my gig.
Yeah. Well, I've got one group that you can't do that. You simply, it won't let you copy the screen. It's a real pain and they can't figure out why.
Huh. All right. Is there
Weird setting they've got, and they can't sort it out.
any other questions? Okay, well, thank you, Shannon, so much for your time, and I hope everybody has a good day and go and be well. Hope you can take those small steps and make a big difference.
Thanks, everyone.
guys.
Thanks, Erin.
Uh-huh.
Have a great